Hi everyone, it's Sandy. Thank you for joining me here on my channel. I had a comment on one of my recent videos and the person that had commented, I'm really sorry if I couldn't remember your name, but if you're watching, I hope you will enjoy this video. She said she had a whole heap of 4 by 12 inch papers and she didn't know what to do with them and if I had any inspirational ideas or some projects that she could make with those sort of papers. And when I read it, I thought, you know what, I also have a bunch of 4 by 12 inch papers as well. So I thought, yes, let me see what I can make and share it with her as well as with you here on my channel. And so these are the projects that I've come up with, which I'll show you, and a couple of variation that you can change it up to how you would like with these little ideas that I've got. I've made it so that you could use single-sided paper and directional pattern paper as well. So I've tried to make it so you could utilize your papers and make these projects. So these are the ones that I've come up with. They're just little mini booklets or mini flip booklets with some pockets. So you can use these as an ephemera holder to store some ephemera pieces, little photos, notes, anything you like. Just really cute, really simple. And I've got here a bunch of some of my 4 by 12 inch papers that I've got in a pile myself. So I just grabbed a few here and I'm going to use some of these papers for this tutorial. Let me show you what I've made. I've made 2 different style of little mini booklets, and then I'll show you some variations on what you can do to change it up if you wanted to do it a different way. So this one here is the first one. Let me just see. So what I've done was I made 2 the same for this project. One with double-sided paper, one with directional single-sided paper. So you can see the difference with using the 2 different papers. This is another one that I'll show you. So let me show you this one. Now this is using double-sided paper. You can use single-sided paper and you can also use a single-sided directional pattern paper as well. So it's just a little flip booklet that opens up this way, and at the back here is a pocket. Let me grab one of these tags out from in here to show you. So you could place some tags in here. You can put a stack of tags and add a little bowl pin and then sort of have them on a swing, a clip, so they can just look like swing tags, and tuck them in there. There is also a front side pocket here as well for more tags, ephemera pieces, little notes or receipts, recipe papers, notes, just a little booklet. So that's just another fun way to make using the 4 by 12, and I'll show you that. This is the same, but I've also changed this one up as well, and there is no paper wastage either making these. So this one opens up the same way, and there is a little corner tuck pocket here and a pocket here as well, so you can fit some more of your wider or larger note cards or anything you like in here. You can add some photos in here. It's a nice flat mail if you want to send some simple flat mail in the post, so it doesn't cost you too much in postage. You can add some sticker sheets in here, and you can see it's nice and flat. I didn't do a lot of embellishing. I just kept all the embellishing flat, and so it's not dimensional. And you can even punch a hole here and add a string, and you can wind that around and make it into a closure. So there's a little tab here. I also made it with a tab on the top here just to decorate the white part. So that's just one of the style that I've done with that. This one here uses double-sided paper, same way. I've just changed this one up just a little bit as well. The embellishing here again is simple. I'd use Rosie Studio ephemera pieces from their collection. They're all from different collections, but these are all from Rosie Studio store. And so it opens up like that. And this one has a side pocket just like this one. And I've just added a couple of little extra pieces in here just so you can see you can add. This is a nice cute way. I just cut a strip of paper corner around the corners and tucked it on the corner of a note card and used a brad, and it's just sort of like a little swing tag. I thought that was a cute way to do that. And another piece of scrap paper that I have, and just made it with a file tab on the edge. So this has a side tuck pocket here. Just put that in there so it looks neat. Let me just pop that in there. And then over here is the same. It has a pocket at the back. And I've made a little notebook, a little mini note booklet. This is from another project. I tucked this in one of my other flip books. So that was just a nice way to tuck one of those. So you can add a little note booklet, some more tags, and just some scrap papers that I cut up, just so I could show you what you can fit in there. And with this one doesn't have that extra pocket, but I did add a little tuck pocket here on this corner. So that's just another variation, but it's made the same way. I've just sort of added some extra little tuck pocket here. This doesn't have the tab on the side here, and it doesn't have the tab up here, but I've made that here instead. So that's the difference. So there's just some fun ways you can play around with your extra pieces that we cut out, and I think that's what makes it fun. So I'm going to show you how to make all three of these ones in this video. So let me bring out some papers. What we'll make first is I'll do this one first, and then we'll go ahead and I'll make these two. So I'm going to just grab a piece of 4x12 paper to make that one. I'm going to just use, hold on, let me see. Let me just use this one. Start with that first. I'll come back and grab the paper later on. So I'm going to use a scoreboard. You can make it without the scoreboard and just folding it over, but I like to have the scoreline to give me a good fold. And I'm just going to say one more thing before I go ahead. I want to apologize in advance if my scoreboard is not clean, and if my glue bottle is not clean either. You know, sometimes we're going to get glue on our glue bottle. Scoreboard's not going to be clean. We are crafters. It's never always going to be clean and tidy. So I just want to apologize in advance if you know, if it sort of is bothering somebody when they're watching it and it's not clean. If that's just how it is. I try my best to keep things as tidy as I can, but it's always hard when you want to craft. So anyway, we'll get back to the tutorial. So I've got here my 4x12 paper. This is the cover. So I'm going to have it facing down on the 12-inch side. We are going to score at 2.5 inches, 6.5 inches, and 10.25 inch. So I'll just repeat you the score lines. It's 2.5 inches, 6.5 inches, and 10.25 inch. So that's the scoring for that. So what we're going to do now is, and also before you make your score line, just make sure if you're using a directional pattern, it's facing the right way. So we've got the score line here on the right. So we're just going to fold that to the back and press that down as best you can. And now we're going to fold it towards you to the front on that other score line. And then this one here, the score line is going to be a little bit away from this fold line, which is what we want. And we're just going to fold that to the front. So now you can see that it's looks like this one. Opens up like this. And then we have this part here. And all we're going to do now is, I'm going to use my circle punch to create a notch. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. And I'm just going to do that over here in the middle. You can also go along to the side here. You place it here if you want. I'll do this one in the middle. And this is a 1.5 inch circle punch. So that is how it looks. So you can see how this part overlaps over this notch. What I've done here is I've created an angle and cut that here, and also just so I'm going to cut an angle so it's sort of away from that part of the notch, just a slight little angle like that, so that you see that. So these are the only pieces that get wasted, this piece. And I'm also going to create a notch here just to decorate the edge so it's not just straight. You don't have to do that, but I'll just do that. And I'm just going to do that there. So it sort of makes you sort of, looks like, you know, that's where you open. And all we do now is we're just going to glue ahead the part here where we make the side pocket, and that is just gluing it down the bottom here and go along here, press that down, and then you'll have yourself a tuck pocket there. I'm going to come back to this side and we're just going to glue down the bottom here, and that's it. And then we'll do that. And that gives you this really cute little mini flip out pocket booklet or folder. And then you've got a pocket in. So there is a nice large opening there, so you can add quite a few things in there. And you can have fun embellishing and decorating this part. I just added a large flower piece there to decorate the edge. And there you have that. And you can make 3 of these out of 1 12x12 paper as well. So you just cut 3 4x12 pieces, and you can make 3 of these. And then they make great little gifts as well for teachers' gifts or neighbours, a little thank you gift. Where did this one go? I think that one went over here. Let's put that there. All right, so now we'll go and make these 2. I'll grab another piece of a 12x12, and what I'll do is I'm going to use directional pattern for both, because it's always easy when it's not a direction. Let me see. Got 1 and 1 double-sided. Let me do that one. All right, so we've got 2. They're both directional pattern. I'll make that one first. Grab the scoreboard again. Right. The reason I was talking about the glue, someone made a comment saying that my glue bottle was really dirty and had a lot of dry glue. So sometimes when you do a video, you don't notice these things when you're doing tutorials. It's always easy when you're watching it and you see it, but when you're doing a video, you don't realize sometimes what's around your table. So I'm trying my best to keep clean as well as my scoreboard. All right, so let's make this. And again, I'm going to have my cover facing down. And what we'll do here is we are going to score at 3.5 inches, 7 3/4 of an inch, and 11 3/4 of an inch. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn this around this way and line it on the 4 inch. You see that little score line there. I'm going to go at 1.5 inches. I'm going to score and stop at that score line. So 1.5 inches and stop at that score line just as close as you can. I'm just using that as a guide because we're going to cut out that piece. And we're going to do the same with this one here. So let me see. Let's also do the score lines for the other piece, so then I can just not bring the scoreboard out again. Making sure I've got the pattern the right way. Score lines are the same. We're going to go 3.5 inches, 7 3/4 inches, 11 3/4 of an inch. Turn that around on the 4-inch side. 1.5 inches. I'm going to stop it at that score line. It doesn't have to be too close as long as I've got a guide. You probably can't see it, but it's there. All right, so that's all. All right, so I'll put that one away first. Let's make this one. What we'll do first, we are going to remove that panel. So I'm going to cut across and go up to remove this piece. And go all the way. That's my husband in the background, if you can hear him, he's on the phone. All right, so we've got that. And then I'm just going to angle cut that piece. And then angle cut that piece. So that is how that looks. We'll keep this piece to the side for now. And then what we do now is we're going to fold over this piece inside. Come in with this piece. And then this piece is going to come to the front, and that will be the cover. So that opens up this way, and then you got this piece. And here I'm going to add a notch. So I'm just going to do this. I might just go off center with that one as well. Okay. And I'm going to corner around these two corners just to decorate the corners a little bit. What we can do now is we can go ahead and we can glue the pocket down. Simply adding glue here. And glue that across. Close that. That will give us that top pocket now. Once that's all glued down, we have this piece. So what you can do with this piece, you can see you'll have a score line on this side. There's a score line there. You can add another score line on this side, going in at 1/4 of an inch, the same as this, and going across down the bottom here, 1/4 of an inch as well. And then you will then just fold those 3 score lines. You can then place that here. If I fold that down, let me do the same here. I'm not going to score, I'm just going to fold it. And let's just say that bottom part is also folded over. You can then place it down here like that. You glue down the 3 sides and you will have an extra tuck pocket in the front here. You can punch out another notch there to decorate that. And that will give you a double pocket folder. And that's ready to go. But I wanted to make it a little bit more sort of interactive and sort of decorate this white part. So I decided to just remove this piece. And that was originally scored. Right, now remember this part wasn't scored, just removing that piece. And then what I'd done with this one was I cut this down. I cut it down at 3 inches. So we're going to go, so this is actually about, it's 4 inches. So we're going to go down 3 inches. So we've got that piece. And then this little piece, I'm just going to cut that in half, and it'll be, I'm going to cut that at 1/2 an inch. Let me just try and get that as straight as I can. And I've got 2 pieces. If it doesn't bother you, because it was a directional pattern paper, if it doesn't bother you, this piece is the piece that will come over here like I've got here as a little tuck pocket. Then you've got these 2 pieces. One piece will go here for the little tab on the side and the file tab up here. So it may just be, you know, your pattern may not be the same way, but I'm not worried about that. or you can place it on this side on that corner, and then you've got a little tuck pocket there, or you can have it here if you like. You could even use this as a belly band if you don't cut the two pieces. Let me just pretend that that was not cut. I'm just showing you some different variations. You cut that little extra piece out. You can make this into a belly band. That wasn't cut. It will be a 4-inch in height, and then you just glue down the top and bottom, and you've got yourself a belly band to slide some of your note cards or bits and pieces through there. But let's make it like this. So I'm going to corner around. Let's see, shall I go that way? I'm going to go that way. So I'm going to corner around just the right corner. I'm going to corner around both of these. And let's see, I'll corner around this side and this side. So let me just a bit there on the bottom, and you can just place this anywhere you like. You can place it in the middle along there. I'm going to place it there, and that decorates that part, so it looks cute there. It also breaks up that white. I'm going to glue this piece, and I'm just going to place that. Oh, sorry. I'm going to glue it on this side and place that there in the middle. And now I can grab this piece and glue down these 3 sides and place it here. Really sorry about the background noise. If you can hear it, I can't. He's actually not near my room, but if you can hear my husband talking on the phone, I really apologise. So that is that part all done. Then you got your tuck pocket there. That part's done. And now we'll make this one here. Okay, I actually like this one. This is probably my favourite one out of the 3. And let me know which one your favourite one is out of the 3 that you think is a fun one to make. So this is the same. You can't see my score line, but I'm going to remove this panel as well. The score line is actually here. I can also just see it. So let's go. I'm going to go this way so I can see it. Let's do the same. I'm going to cut that out. Just got to find it. One there. Okay, so we've got that. We're going to do the same. I'm going to angle cut that corner piece. It just helps with the folding. Fold that in. Corner around the 2 corners. And what I can do is I'll glue this part down and the bottom. All right. And then I'm going to fold that over just so we can see that's the cover. I mean, it looks pretty already, doesn't it? Just a cute little booklet. And with this one, I'm going to do this. I'm going to remove that little piece that has a score line. So that. And I'm just going to cut this in half, or sort of doesn't really have to be in half. I might just go at 2 inches. So I've got 2 pieces now. Now it's double-sided paper, so the good thing is I could have that one facing that way, so it just sort of changes the pattern and breaks up the pattern of the, you know, just gives it more fun to look at than having them all facing the one way. So you just play around with it. So I think I'm going to put that one there. I'm going to put that one there, and I'm going to go like that. You could even go on that side if you wanted to. Alright, so let's do the same. I'm going to come around that and one corner of that side. And these ones don't have the tabs because I've used it for here. And that goes there. And glue these 2 sides. Alright, and that will finish off that side. And you can put a little note booklet in there like that. It's a cute little thank you gift, or for a neighbour, for someone that does a bit of journaling or planning. You can make yourself a little booklet, tuck it in there, add some little bits of extra pieces that they may want to add into their planner, some washi samples, and then you just have fun decorating your little mini booklet. So this is just another simple project idea for you, give you some inspiration. If you have 4 by 12 papers, you can make these 3 projects out of one 12 by 12 paper as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment down below which one you like out of the 3, or you can just change it up and have fun playing around with the little extra pieces to make some extra tuck pockets. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll stop talking now, and I'll see you soon in my next video. Bye for now.